Alright.
Yeah.
So I was about to run this query.
Larger.
Yeah. I'll zoom in again. Okay, let's try. And where's the results? Okay, yeah. So I actually did 2 inserts now, but the email is not unique, and neither is the name, so it's okay. And you can actually do this if you want to do insert multiple users at once. You can just do this and keep going. So you can say like this. Yeah, you get the idea. So dark. And you can insert 2 users at once.
I have a question, maybe it's not related to this topic right now, but when we get some information in our website and we make it like a JSON, can we bring that JSON and change it to this kind of data?
Yeah, you would use Node for that, and then load the JSON file, and then create these insert into
like a data there. Okay.
Yeah, but most likely you'll actually get the information straight from the web interface. Most likely you'll actually just get, like if you have a form, for instance, just get the information from that form and insert it straight away into MySQL.
Okay.
And not go through the JSON file.
So it can go directly to
ideally it's exactly like that. I mean, just go straight to this whole validation, like check that the email is actually an email, but it goes from
we use Node.js is better.
Yeah. So we don't use JSON.
Yeah. Good.
Let's see. Send. So just to see that we have some new user. Okay, there he is. Or is he? Let's see, it's not the right email.
Maybe you have 2 kind of...
Did you execute that query? Or did you execute the old one?
Oh wait, I didn't run this.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, now we have the new Donald Duck. So now we want to update some data, and it's pretty similar. So we say update user, and then we use the set keyword, and we can just update the columns we want to. So let's say we wanted to change the email of the new Donald Duck. So we can just say set email and then a new string. So it could be 123 gmail.com.
With this method you will change the specific part of the information, yes?
Yes, only the email.
Okay.
So you can say email, and I could also then say name equals something else, blah blah blah. But if I run this now, I will be in trouble because
there is no name like that.
No, that's not why. It's because I would change every user at once. So without any where clause, the update will run on every user in the user table. So you have to be careful about this.
I didn't get it.
And always use a where. So now I'll not update the name at the same time. Or actually I'll just use the ID. So down here I see the new Donald Duck has ID 15. So I say where ID equals 15. Can you see that? Like that.
You will change the name and the email at the same time, yes?
Yep. I'll just put it on separate lines. Okay.
If I do an error and I insert it twice, so I have to delete it.
Yeah, then we'll take the delete in a second. So when I run this, hopefully I don't get an error. Yep, and it says one row affected. So I know I only changed one user. And when I do the select again, now there's only one Donald Duck, because now we changed the name.
Can you select everything from user?
Yeah. So like this.
And go to the last.
It doesn't show the
So
result.
you see the updated name and email.
Okay, so let us do it.
This window doesn't show the rows.
It's fine.
It's work, but I want to see the data.
You need to like get what to speed. Like you can select everything.
Oh, okay, yeah. I guess it's
It will only tell you what happened, but doesn't show it.
just for select, that's it.
Now what if you do the bottom?
Update number 15. Yeah, okay, it works.
Alright.
Oh, it's better to make the email unique. Or
Yeah, you would probably make the email column unique. So has everyone run an update command? Okay. So now I'll show you how to delete from a table also. So we can delete this new user Donald Duck. So we say delete from user, and again, if we don't do anything more than this, then we'll basically delete all users.
All the users.
Yeah, so don't do that. Yeah, so you need a where, and then again ID 15. If we were using another where statement and we were not quite sure, we could also say limit 1. We'll only delete one user, but
And hopefully not the wrong one.
yeah, hopefully not the wrong one.
And does it have a backup? You know the
Usually there is a backup of the databases.
Okay.
In this case, of course, there's another which is straight up.
For example, is it possible we do the change in another place and then everything was working, bring it to the real database?
Yeah, I guess that's like you. Sometimes you have like a test database in your computer, maybe, and
Yeah.
production database
Yeah.
is like.
Yeah,
Is possible.
you could do that, but also it's probably worth mentioning that it's not really standard practice to delete from a table. It's very rare actually. Usually what you do instead is you use what's known as soft delete. So you have a field with a date or a boolean, and then you say delete it at some time, or just delete it through, something like that. So you still keep the data even though it's deleted. But yeah, if I run this now,
You cannot delete more than one thing.
no, not. I couldn't delete both a user and a task at the same time.
No, it's saying about you have an error on yours. Try deleting two IDs.
Two
like
IDs?
The 13 and the 14.
Okay. 13 and sorry, or
No, and. Because you want to delete div and div. Not div or div.
but the ID cannot be both 13 and 14 at the same.
Yeah.
But it's not accepting where ID equals 13 and the ID equals 14. So it's two different ID.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean. Like it's if you had the if statement in JavaScript, this wouldn't make sense basically, because an ID can only be one number.
But if you do ID equal 13 and user.id equal 14.
Same thing.
So different.
But it's tricky. I see what like you're right. Like if it's in JavaScript, the ID cannot have both names. But at the same time, it's like you want to delete the ID 13 and the ID 14. But like
Yeah. Try
executing.
Yeah, we can try to run it, just see what
Like
happens.
if you're selecting, these will do it for you for sure.
0 rows affected. So
Yeah.
it couldn't find any, and we can also demonstrate by using it in the select. So if I add this where clause here and I run it, I get nothing because the ID can only be one number at a time.
Okay, now use the OR.
So if I do OR instead, then we get both. So I can see it's a bit confusing.
Yeah, so do this.
Actually,
like
OR
first.
is working like an and working like an OR.
Yeah, I mean, the AND could be if you wanted, like the name should be equal to one thing and the email should be equal to something else.
And when you delete one ID, for example, this person, number 13, all the information about him in the other tables will be deleted?
Yeah, because we have undelete cascade.
Okay.
So all the rows in the user task table will
Whatever
also
belongs to that person in the other tables, it will delete.
not the tasks, because they are then not the tasks, but the user task entries would disappear as well. So
Oh, you only see this in record.
Oh,
It's like the part that you have to see.
but yeah, if I do this with the OR, then it should show me 2 rows affected.
You need to think the JavaScript doing it.
Yeah. So think whenever you see where, think about an if statement. Every time you do an update or a delete, it's a good practice to try it out with a select first. So take your where clause and copy it to a select start from whatever, and just see if it does what you think it will. So
Yeah, before you mess up.
yeah, that's a very good idea. So
and let me ask you, if you do a mistake, and you delete
Are
something,
you not missing it?
you wanna get it back.
yeah, then you have to have a backup.
Huh?
Then you have to have a backup.
So it's better to have a backup.
Yeah.
So if you're working to a big project, then it's something really useful.
Because once you delete it, it's gone. So there's no turning back. That's why it's you have to be very careful when you do that. There's no built-in backup system in MySQL.
Yeah, and one other thing, why if you delete an ID, it will not take the ID after, it will not take the same like in order.
Oh, yeah, so it will not use 13 again.
Yeah.
I think it's because it just keeps on going. So at some point it reaches, I don't know if it's
So
full.
if you like you have
I don't know,
70 or 20 IDs, okay? Everyone have his title, name, or whatever. So you take delete for 2, 3, 4, 5 till 90. You have only left 1 and 20. It will not become 1 and 2. It will keep 1 and 20.
Yeah, because you shouldn't ever change the primary key.
Yeah, because it's unique.
Yeah, and it's used by the foreign keys, so yeah.
Okay, no. Yeah, that's another database there. It's like MySQL.
Maybe when I install the code
So there's MySQL, there's Postgres, and Microsoft SQL. The information management system. And that's not anyways, I'll like
put it in my
I can try to figure out that.
GitHub, but I cannot remember how I could do it.
No, but you don't, like the server is different, not everything. The server is different. Like it doesn't have a database from MySQL in that Postgres.
Okay, so it doesn't work yet.
Yeah, no. But
No, without dash. No, with dash.
You don't know.
Without dash. Like terminal and
any questions? Should we move on? So just one thing, like at some point you'll probably hear about CRUD queries, like CRUD. Like what that basically means is like create, retrieve, update, and delete. And that's what you usually have on a website. You can like create entries in your database by having people filling out forms, for instance. You of course retrieve data, like when you have a list of products on Amazon, that's what you're doing, you're retrieving data. You update data as well, maybe, or maybe not, that depends on your website, but you might allow the user to update its username, for instance. That's an update query, like what Faring was saying. And you might also allow the user to delete its own account, for instance. You'd probably have a soft delete, not a hard delete. So just keep in mind what CRUD queries are, because I'm pretty sure you'll hear about that on the final project. If they ask you to do all the CRUD queries for these websites, what they mean is create data, do the queries that allow you to create data from what you have on the website, the forms that you have there, update, like allow you to update whatever is updatable, retrieve the data, delete data if necessary. So just so you know the names.
So create is equal to insert into, and yeah, update is update and delete is delete.
Yeah.
And the retrieve or
It's
read,
just the select.
yeah, is the select, yeah. So that's what they mean when they say that.
Create, retrieve,
or read.
Yeah.
No,
Create, update, read, delete.
update.
you
U is update. C for create,
create,
U will
retrieve, update, and delete.
Yeah.
It's
So
also
update is to edit, yeah?
Yeah, that's basically it.
Modify.
Modify.
so it's
Retrieve,
Read. It's a select.
to select,
Depending
get the data, get.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like
Yeah.
pass, get, delete, and
yeah, in your Node API it would be yeah, exactly, post and get and yeah.
So
Yep. We actually already went through this at the beginning. I think
yeah.
we looked at the diagram and we created the new database. So if we have time, we could maybe talk about normalization later. But I guess we should.
Yeah,
or should we do that?
We're going to jump to creating the YAR model and the database from existing data, because that's really important. And the next class, I guess, you'll get to learn the multi-class of MongoDB. Because we need to go through the other things that we're skipping today.
Yeah. Should we switch? I mean, you have the Slack stuff, the
It's
PDF.
up there already.
It is?
Yep.
Oh,
PDF.
it's already on.
I just put the files there.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah.
will we inject database?
We'll talk about it next week.
You told me last week.
No, I'm just trying to.
last week.
No, the injection is in the third class.
Yeah, that's what she said last week.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I said it. It used to
And,
be in the second actually.
Yeah,
I
we've
said
we've
it.
changed it around a bit. So, but yeah, this is the example data we're going to be using. There's two JSON files, but I don't know. Should we start with the users or the?
Wait a second. Let's give some context. So basically, we're going to like we have these two JSON files with data, and this is basically the data that is used for a website where people can upload their podcasts. So it's a bit like a blog, but for podcasts. So you have like title for the article, which includes a podcast. You have a description, you have comments, you have hashtags, images, maybe because it's like a post and it includes the podcast. Submission data, date, netcast file, which I guess it's the link for the actual podcast. And the last change status date, and it also has a status. And then there's the other JSON file for the users that actually uploads the podcasts and creates the articles that contain the podcasts. And Also to the comments, maybe. I don't remember if actually you have to figure that out. If there's users associated to comments or not.
Yeah.
So the idea is that you take this and draw the diagram for the database. So the tables, the fields for each table, the relationships between tables. We haven't done this ourselves yet. We have a guess how it should look like, but you figure that out.
It's totally new.
And you can do that in pairs maybe if that's easier. It's easier. Yeah. So the entities are actually the tables. The relationships are just the links between the tables.
To create the engine, new database.
No, just create a diagram. You figure out which tables do you need to put in all that data that you have in those JSON files, and then the relationships between the tables.
Then maybe we can, afterwards we can create the tables together, maybe. Yeah. If we have time.
So the homework is to create a database based on this?
No, that's what you are going to do now.
Oh, okay. So
it's still 3 p.m. We have plenty of time. So try to do it in pairs. I think that's a bit easier because it's very easy. Like for one person, you forget details that another person.
How is this data?
Can you post? You have the link from like the previous class maybe or open Slack. There.
Slack.
Type Slack. Yeah. So the idea is look into the JSON files, see what exactly is there, and try to figure out which tables do you need to put all the data there, and what are the relationships.
Yeah. But we have to write the code by ourselves, or we have to find the way that change the JSON to the database.
Just a diagram. Can you show the diagram?
Just draw it. Like the one we looked at earlier. Like this one.
Perfect. Yeah.
Is under resources?
It's under DB JSON files. Yeah, it's both. So you can start with
these 2 JSON files. So as the resources.
How I can go to the graphic part?
Their file,
You have 2 files.
I think it's.
And you need to do the same for the 2 files.
Even I can write it here.
same file.
Yeah, you can,
because I know how it's.
You have a file for users that has a user information, and you have a file for resources that has a resource information.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you can add tables and you can add a diagram here.
But anyways, create tables that can take information.
And then you can just drag in the.
I don't know which one.
I think this one, new table. Or maybe just click. I'm not sure.
This is this. Okay,
Try
I will
just
come back
clicking.
to that. And now I cannot. It takes a lot of time to understand.
So, any questions?
A lot of questions.
Start working.
Like you have to do.
I just grab a cup.
I just noticed I don't think there's a link between users and projects.
No, it's like we have to invent it ourselves, I think.
Okay, that's cool. Then we'll have something to do.
Also, all that status up everywhere. I think maybe we should just skip that for now.
I just
What's the plan? We should.
Let's see what they come up with, I guess.
What's
So,
the plan? We should make a database in MongoDB and import it.
no. Just create draw what the table will be,
The diagram.
or write down on the text editor if you prefer. Something like
Yeah, you can write it down as well.
just what we wanted to come up with is like the table names. So for instance, you have the users, the users have this name and full name.
Okay, yeah. Just analyze the data.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, just
fine.
this. So look at the data you have and
You can do it on the.
Yeah.
and design a database that can take in all that data. And there's some relationships missing, I can already tell you that. There's some things that show us different attributes that show up in different places, or I mean the same field that shows up in different places, that maybe should be a separate table. So, but there's many ways of designing this, so just give it a shot.
Alright. Cool.
So maybe only that's your name?
Samyat.
Samyat. With a T at the end or
What?
with a T at the end or not?
Samyat. Yes.
Samye?
Samyat. Samyat.
Samyat.
Yeah.
Samyat.
Yeah.
Is that right?
No.
Samyat. So maybe Yomi and Samyat is doing together and what's your name? Girly and Pratt.
Bien bir şey.
Arabi arıyorlar.
Evet, zaten
Yeah,
We can learn from.
like,